Okay, whew. Starting this over again. Yeah, it's just an update on the progress in the shed while testing out further my new gimbal. Whew, it's boiling in here. You can probably hear the fan. Hopefully the noise isolation on this is working well enough that you can hear me more than the fan. But I couldn't get the cell signal to work out here. And so I'm having to record it and then I'll upload it into the streamer, however that works. So yeah, just some progress on the shed here. Second, switch this over to wide angle mode. A little bit trickier with the gloves on. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, there we go. So, I have managed to make a bit of progress here. Make sure I do have something that's interested in the light over there. Yep. So yeah, I've been getting the wall piece connected up slowly. I can't print them too quickly on the okay, there we go. Still getting used to these controls. I can't do it too closely on the well, as many on the Centauri Carbon as I can on the Neptune 4. So I'll be testing and seeing if I can get both of those working. As you can see, still a lot of debris to deal with. Making slow progress though. This whole counter area here has been cleaned up better. Once I get it further cleaned up, I'm actually going to try and get a stain and give it a nicer look. Also going to try and get the measurements to see if I can figure out how much it'll cost, or more or less how much it'll cost to add put insulation into these walls, into these gaps, and then get it where I can follow it up by sealing in these and having a more stable, like having walls instead of just this flow of, these, let's see here, gaps, and then also hopefully keep more things from sneaking in, like that little guy there. But I'm going to switch over to one of the things I did want to actually make sure we get done. Again, I've got that class at in just a bit. So I've gotten a few of these going, and so I'll be putting this up on YouTube. Come on. Nope, over here. Okay. Now let's see if this stuff actually works, because I printed a few of these out. I hadn't done as much with this as I might have liked. Okay. I actually printed out a few of these. There's two that are printing out now, because with all the screws that are just everywhere, until I can get more of the other wall finished, because my goal will be to put like more, pretty much just make That wall, nothing, almost nothing but bins maybe for all the screws and any other random bits. We'll see over time. That wall over there that you can kind of not see because of the light, I'm probably going to try out the honeycomb hive hexagon style, if for only due to the fact that they don't lock all their content behind like a $50 paywall, which is totally not something I'm complaining about per se. I'm just saying it's just I can't afford that. Okay, so let's see how well these go in. It's mostly going to be like this pegboard is super old. Ow. I'm trying also not to. Well, that's not good. Okay, let's see. Try a bit more up here. Okay. The hell? And of course it broke it. Okay. So. Jeez. Well, that's certainly not going in the way I had hoped. Apparently, this one's designed for much bigger. Good grief. Okay, I should have another one in here. It's not broken yet. The other one's still, I mean, I can reclaim it. I just got to get, okay, it's this one. Ah, jeez. This fan is kind of useless at this point. Whoa, sorry phone. There we go. Okay. God, this humidity is too much right now. Well, that's awesome. May have done too much. Okay. I'm gonna have to come back out here with a drill another time then, which sucks because I was hoping to show all this off. Okay. Okay, I'll leave these here for now then. Well, that's fun. At least I have the drill in the house, but yeah. Time is very, very limited today. Okay, yeah, this is just more of the parts for the thread board. And then, yeah, that's empty for there. Okay, now on to the next of the interesting bits I was doing, which is actually here we go. Alrighty, there we are. Okay. So mostly have this shed set up with, I've got to do something with all these, yeah, ancient bandsaws that are probably rusted out the wazoo. So I got some of these off of Amazon. They're only like $10, but so many things switching over to, good Lord. Jeez. Okay, so many things switching over to even having USB. Decided to go with one of these, which is upside down, which is awesome that they put them in upside down. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I've got the USB got 2, 4, 6 standard 3-prong outlets, 2 USB A's and 2 USB C's. And there's not one on the other side over here. So it would have been handy, or at least I don't see one over here. So there is this one over here. And we'll get to that once I can get to that side, which is going to be the long progress part. So for right now, this is what I got to do. Current progress will simply be trying to get more of this side cleaned up, this out of the way, just so I can have this half of pretty much here all the way down to that door, and then work on getting that wall finished, and then figuring out what to do with all this wood. I may just have to actually stick it behind the shed. I'll end up probably destroying a lot of it, but I just don't know what to do with this. Or I may just carry it and throw it through the door on the other side into the storage part, which is its own Freddy Krueger mess to deal with. Yeah, then we're going to leave this bit up here. There's some really cool parts for DeWalt tools that I can hang from there, so I can hang them from there. But I've got to get this figured out here to get better progress going on the floor. Then I kind of have to remember to take the tripod part out of here to get the gimbal part to work. Well, I mean, to make it easier for the handheld part anyway. I think this would be a great spot to put the Elegoo, the Centauri Carbon right here. And actually one of the pieces that I have I'm going to use once I get the drills through and everything, is actually clear this off. And what I would love to do over time, like I'm definitely going to seal these walls up. Hopefully one to insulate it. Obviously once we can get to the insulating of the door, that'll help too. But insulating it until I can get some cooling fans or whatever in here. But also to, nope, not that way. Kiddoke. But also to give me some walls so I can put more things up. So essentially these side pieces here, figure out if I can insert them into there behind the pegboard without having to rip all this down. We'll see how well that goes. But for starters, we're going to keep going with this half here, because I especially have to, you can just kind of see it from here. There is a gap there that I got to figure out how to seal before I put any sheet insulation in. However, there is one really cool upgrade, probably the coolest one that I have so far. And again, I'll be linking all of these in the no. Okay, the gimbal was going in its own direction, starting to hurt the motors. That may have been because of my thumb on the controller there. No, I'm not sure what it's trying to focus on. Alrighty, gonna go ahead and fix this as well. But this. Now, 1 second, I've got to remember how to turn the light on. Okay, there we go. Knew that light part would come in handy at some point. This is a steampunk light switch. I'll set it here so we can get some better video of it. It is a steampunk light switch that I found on printables.com. Again, linking on there. I thought that would be a really cool upgrade for some of the geekier themes that I want to do with the both the objects that I'm printing in here, as well as the theme and aesthetic that I'm trying to add to it. I use Vallejo airbrush paint for the bronze, copper and bronze, and then aluminum on the handle. So let me get my screwdriver real quick. Okay. And this here. Getting the bird's nest in the camera view. Okay. We'll do one other thing here. Okay. there we go. Just since I don't know how to connect the light bar to this, like I don't know how to connect the light bar to the frame itself, so I'm actually just connecting it up to the I'm just setting it in front of the thing. So we're just going to take this off real quick. And thankfully, the fact they went with this dark brown face plate and the dark brown bits, I think will work very well with the rest of the steampunk aesthetic. I'm going to need my hands, not these gloves. It's a bit too tiny. Okay, 1 second. The gimbal's complaining about something. Okay, I'm going to have to just cope with the gimbal being weird for just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to be very, very careful with this because for whatever reason, the gimbal motor is overheating. So, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to actually just power this thing down and stop the video before I burn out my brand new gimbal. Okay, 1 second.